All right, I just modeled step 1 in reading my plan. Now I'm going to move on to step 2. I know that our objective said that we were going to be writing from the plan, specifically looking at our reasons and evidence. So I have my blank paper to write out my ideas in order. So now I want to look back at my reasons and my evidence in my plan. That's why it's important to have our plans right next to us before we start writing. I also have Henry's Freedom Box with me in case I want to add anything else. I know that this was just a quick thing, getting my ideas again organized, but now I'm really starting to think about what I'm going to have in my actual opinion piece. So I want to make sure I have it handy. Okay, so reason 1, I said Henry had help. Okay, now I know that he's wanting help to get to freedom. So maybe I add that into my sentence for my first reason, because I want to get that in order so that I remind my reader, oh yeah, I'm talking about Henry getting to freedom and why I thought that was a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Henry had help to get to freedom. I'm going to add that in. It's not in my plan, but I can always revise and make my writing better. Henry had help to get to freedom. So I added on a little bit more from my plan, but that's my first reason for why I thought his idea was a good one. So he had help. I've written out my sentence. Okay, my evidence was on page 25, Dr. Smith wrote, "This side up with care." Oh yeah, I wonder if there's anything else that I could add to make my writing be stronger. Oh yeah, I remember right after this. When he gets dropped off, he begs the clerks to be extra careful. So he's even writing it on the box, but then even saying it to the clerks, they handle the box with care. I can add that in to make my writing stronger, but I have a general idea of what I wanted to write because of my outline. Okay, so now I need to write my evidence, and my evidence goes with this reason. Okay, on page 25, Dr. Smith wrote, "This side up with care." He also begged the clerks to be careful. Okay, so step 2 is probably going to take the longest because I'm actually writing now. I'm getting my sentences down from my outline into my rough draft. Okay, so I added on a little bit more because I want my writing to be really clear and I want to have lots of strong details in my writing. Okay, now I'm going to look at reason 2. His plan worked. He made it to freedom. Oh yeah, I'm reminding my reader one more time about that idea of freedom and how it was a good idea. So maybe I want to say in reason 2, his idea was a good one because his plan worked. He was able to make it to freedom. His idea was a good one because his plan worked. Seeing if you're tracking. Oh, good. Okay. Because his plan worked to get to freedom. Okay, so that was my reason number 2. And it's in order. It's going after reason 1. Now I need to include my evidence. Oh, in my outline right here, it says when Henry opened the box, 4 men smiled at him. They said, "Welcome to Philadelphia." I think that evidence is already really strong. It really shows how people are already nicer in Philadelphia. They didn't agree with this idea of slavery. So I think that looks good. I can just copy from my outline and get it right here into my rough draft. When Henry opened the box, 4 men smiled at him. Well, let's see. Getting down here. They said, "Welcome to Philadelphia." All right, and there's my evidence for reason number 2. Okay, so when I think back to what I needed to do in step 2, it was write down each idea from your plan as a sentence in order. Oh yeah, I did that with my reasons and evidence because that's what I'm focusing on today.